Hey, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 most commonly asked questions that I get in relation to starting, scaling, and growing a successful property portfolio. My name's Liam Ryan, and welcome to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hit subscribe and the notification bell. I release videos every single week. Hit the like button for me, please, as that will really help the algorithm. And in my channel, I talk about all things property, business, and wealth. Great, so let's get into this. And the first question is, what is the best way to learn property investing? And that's a great question. Lots of people ask me that all of the time. And hey, look, I've actually been in property for 21 years now. And my first time round in property, I made every single mistake in the book. And I bought off plan, I bought new build, I bought from glossy brochures. My entire portfolio was overseas. I was living in the Costa del Sol, and I initially lost over 2 million euros. So it wasn't a good time for me. Felt extremely sorry for myself. And hey, maybe you can relate to not losing 2 million euros, but maybe something went wrong in your life. Perhaps you lost a job, lost a business, lost some money. And you know that feeling you get when you just want the world to swallow you up. And I was really at a crossroads, not knowing which way to turn. So what happened? I ended up moving back to the UK. I set up a renewable energy business, and then I met one of my amazing business partners, the Mr. Munoz, Jay Munoz himself. He was one of my solar customers, and he was a professional property investor. And I said to Jay, look, I think there's some good synergy between us. I always knew I wanted to get back into property, but I just didn't know how, because it wasn't that the game was wrong. It's just that the player wasn't playing the game correct. And me and Jay actually ended up teaming up, and we became business partners. We're now 7 years into our journey, and we are now the UK's premier property business and wealth training company. And I've now been involved with over 28 million pounds worth of property deals. So how was this able to happen? Well, for me, it's really about getting around the right people. So Jay Munoz, he's a chartered civil engineer. He'd done some property deals. He'd left his high-flying 6-figure-a-year corporate job as a chartered engineer, came full-time into property. But I knew that Jay was spinning all the plates, and I said, look, Jay, what do we need to do to take this onto a big level? And Jay said, look, we need to go and get some training. We need to go and get some mentoring. And that's exactly what we did almost 7 years ago. We got some great training. I invested in myself. So my recommendation is this. If you want to start and scale a property portfolio, then yes, there's loads of resources online. You've got some great books. Jay Munoz, he's got his book, Property Metamorphosis. We've got my book, The No Money Down Blueprint, Bricks and Mortar and Other People's Money. So you can get some great books. You can watch some great YouTube videos like what you're doing here and watch more of my videos. But what is absolutely key is to get on some form of advanced training, get you around some mentors, get into a mastermind group, and be around like-minded people that are going to do exactly what you want to do as well, because they will keep you to a high level of account. They will give you a kick when you need a kick, a cuddle when you need a cuddle. And that's exactly what I now do. I am a UK property mentor. I run a training organization. We've literally got thousands and thousands of success graduates. So my recommendation is do not do it on your own. Don't make the mistakes that I made. Get around good people, get yourself some training, and understand the fundamentals of property investing, and really decide on what's going to be that best strategy. Great, let's have a look at the next question. And this question is, how does BRR work? That is a great question. Well, BRR stands for buy, refurbish, refinance. And did you know that when you follow this very simple 3-step system, you are literally able to get houses for free. Yes, you heard me correctly, houses for free. So how does this work? You will go and find a property, and really you want to look for something that is run down, ideally get it below market value. You want to get the horriblest, dirtiest, smelliest, disgusting house on the street. So you buy something. You can do that using your own money, or you can use it with private funding money. You then do a refurb, so you add value. And ideally, for every pound that you invest into a refurb, you want to add £3 in value. If you can get more, then even better. So you do a refurb, liquor paint, new bathrooms, new kitchens, conservatories, do the garden. Maybe you're going to do a loft extension or an extension out the back, but you add as much value as you can. Take it from 2 beds to 3 beds, 3 beds to 4 beds, 4 beds to 5 beds, but you add as much value as you can. And the more value you add, the more likely you are to pull out the initial investment capital. And you then go and get it refinanced with a mortgage company. They will typically give you 75% loan to value. And if you've added enough value, you can pull the money out of the deal. You then own the property. You have a tenant in the property. You've got a mortgage on the property. The tenant is paying the mortgage, and then you are left with this lovely net profit every month. And depending on what strategy, that might be £200, could be £2,000. But the key here is to then get all of that initial money out, the deposit and the refurb money, and then you use that money again, you recycle it, and you put it into the next deal. Now, I want to be honest with you, I don't get all of my money out on every single deal. And as long as I can pull the money out within 3 years, I am really happy. So how do you pull the money out within 3 years? Well, you get paid the rental income. So for example, if I left £10,000 in a deal, but I was making £1,000 a month profit, then in 10 months, theoretically, I've got that £10,000 back, and then everything moving forward is absolutely infinite return. So I love the buy, refurbish, refinance model. If I can do it, you can do it. Get out there, look for some great houses, apply this strategy, because you could be adding 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 properties to the portfolio every single year. Just think about this for a second. Even if you do just 3 BRRs a year, and you do that for the next 20 years, that's 60 properties in the portfolio. 60 properties paying you passive income. 60 properties that will go up in value if you've bought them in the right part of the UK where there's good capital appreciation. Just think what sort of legacy that's going to leave for your children, your grandchildren, your loved ones, your families. It won't take very long before you replace your income and you never have to worry about money ever again. Great, so let's move on to the third most commonly asked question, and this is, shall I pull money out of my home if I have equity to then reinvest? And my answer would be yes, 100%. Property prices in the UK typically double every 10 years. They've been recording property prices since 1088, and prices continually go up. Of course, we have these ups, we have these downs, and even when we have a down market, it's even better because we can buy more property cheaper, but the market will always go on this upward curve. So if you've got your own house, or you have investment properties that have gone up in value, it means that you have equity in those houses. And if you just leave the money in the houses, in my view, it's what I call dead money. It's what I call dead money. So what you can do is you can lock in on that equity, do a refinance, and then use that capital to then buy more houses. So yes, lock in on that equity, go and buy more assets with it. Whatever you do, don't go and spend it on Ferraris. Do invest in assets that are gonna give you that passive income. Okay, great. Question number four. Should I use my own cash to buy investment property, or should I use other people's money? Wow, that is an amazing question. And look, I do use my own cash that I make in my businesses to invest into assets. Income follows assets. The more assets you have, the more income you are going to make. However, it doesn't matter who you are, at some point your money's going to be tied up. And if we look at Alan Sugar, for example, he has built billions of pounds worth of property, literally using other people's money. So I'm a big believer in working with private funders. They put in the money, you do the work, you either give them a fixed rate return or you do some type of profit share if they're a high net worth or sophisticated investor. One of the fastest ways that you can scale a property portfolio is using OPM. And I've personally now raised over £9 million in joint venture funding. And when I got back into this market 7 years ago, I just lost the business. Minus £392,000 was the liquidation figure. I literally had run out of money. The only way that I was going to build a property portfolio was via OPM. And I want to be honest with you and transparent. In the beginning, it was all for selfish gain. I had no other option. But you know what? I got my first investor, Dave, who lent me £5,000. Got my second investor, this amazing lady. She then did a JV with us, £250,000. Then I had Elizabeth and Neil, one of my old solar customers. They lent me £50,000. Fast forward to today, over £9 million. So when you're using other people's money, you're actually giving back because people have got money today. Money's not gone anywhere. There's not a shortage of money. There are plenty of investors, private funders around. The question is, are you going to go and approach them? So of course, you've got to set yourself up properly. You've got to position yourself correctly, make sure you look the part, get yourself on some great advanced training, understand how to structure deals with private funders. But you can raise joint venture funding. And when you do it once, you can then do it 100 times. And initially it was for selfish gain, but now I work with private funders because I get messages and phone calls and they become part of my team. We go and do some cool stuff together. And, my private funders make a lot of money working with me. So it's a complete win-win. I'm able to scale. They get a good return. They haven't got to do any of the work. So get out there, let people know who you are, what you do. But I would recommend for sure using OPM in order to start, scale, and grow a successful property portfolio. This moves us nicely onto question number 5. And this question is this. Liam, what are the pros and cons of being a property investor? Wow, what a great question. Yes, because look, I'm not about get rich quick. I certainly don't see myself as some type of property guru. I'm just a normal lad from Essex. I've had my ups, my downs. I have my strengths, I have my weaknesses. I've also got the monkey on the shoulder that tries to beat me up from time to time. So property is certainly not get rich quick, but it can be get rich for sure. So let's look at some of the cons. Well, one deal could really cost you a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. It could literally wipe you out. Look at me. First time round in property, I lost over 2 million euros. So property can get very overwhelming. It can get extremely confusing. If you're doing it on your own, it can be quite lonely. It takes time to build the cash flow and to see the capital appreciation. So it's not an overnight matter. So you have to be patient with property. And also with property, you're gonna have to put some work in. You're gonna have to roll your sleeves up. You're gonna have to go out your comfort zone. And hey, not everyone is willing to do that. They think they are, but they're not willing to do it and they give up at the first hurdle. And I want to be honest and open with you. There's going to be lots of blocks, lots of barriers, lots of challenges, lots of things that happen. However, that is the case for most people in a job. That is the case for almost every single business owner. So there's more pros than there are cons. And if you want to get something different, I'm sure you'd agree that you need to do something different. So what are some of the pros? Well, you get to be your own boss. You get amazing passive income. You can go and get houses for free. You decide on how much money you want to make. You can get passive income. You can make big lumps of cash. You can create a diverse property portfolio of different income streams. There's just so many ways to make money in property right now. The market is very good, lots of opportunity. You can do single lets, HMOs, flips, assisted sales, rent to rent, serviced accommodation, land development, commercial conversions. What I recommend is getting really focused in on one to start with, and then you can build over the next few weeks, months and years, and also decide what it is you want to do. Like, for example, a rent to rent serviced accommodation deal that can be generating you in the region of £15,000 per year per property. How many of them do you need to replace your income right now, pay off some bad debt, get you into a better place? So it's going to give you more time, more choices. You start to write the script. When you start making money from property, you could then invest that into businesses. You can really live the lifestyle that you want to live, and you can be the difference that makes the difference. So even though there are some challenges, in my view, property is a great place for you to build assets. It's a great place to generate income, and it's a great place for you to create the lifestyle and the freedom and the legacy that you want to do. So they are the 5 most commonly asked questions that I get all the time. Thank you so much for tuning into my content. It means a lot to me. And again, look, if you're new to this channel, smash the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I release my weekly videos. Leave me a comment below. This channel is all about property, business, and wealth, showing you how to live a better life so you can do what you want, when you want, with who you want. Make sure you hit the like button, and of course, leave me a question or comment below. I'll see you on the other side.